Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, we are here for an emergency bond violation hearing. This would normally be staffing time for sobriety court, but we're going to deal with this matter. This is in the matter of Tricia Marie. I believe you prefer Tepfer.
You can go by Haskins now.
All right. Haskins was your maiden name, correct? All right. I believe the last time you told me Tepfer, but I'll go with
Yes.
Tricia Marie Haskins. The file number here is 242304. You're here with your attorney, Ms. Rhonda Ives. Also present is the Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Joshua Robert. You were charged on December 28th with a domestic violence charge. I think I saw you on the last day of the year, and bond was set. Matter is set for an attorney pretrial for February 7th, which is the first Friday in February, with Ms. Ives as your lawyer. It is a condition of your bond that you not have any contact with the complaining witness here, Randy Tepfer. I got an email over the weekend advising me that you had been arrested for an alleged violation of that bond. Andrew Stahl, who's I believe a state police trooper, says they have reasonable cause to believe that on January 18th, 2025, which would have been last Saturday, that you violated your bond condition by having voluntary contact with Randy Tepfer. So you were taken into custody. My administrator was working over the weekend and scheduled this matter for today on an emergency basis. Ms. Ives was already scheduled to be here today. Now, while we're waiting, Mr. Robert indicated there was a plea offer in this case. And I'll state it as I understand it. You're charged with domestic violence first offense for this incident that allegedly occurred on December 28th. Domestic violence first offense is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Once your bond violation came in, the prosecutor took a closer look at this and realized that this is actually your third domestic violence charge. You had one in 2013, 13-311-SM, a domestic violence. Probation was actually revoked. It wasn't successful. Then you had another domestic violence in 2014, 14-1443-SM. Those are just the ones here in St. Joe County. I'm not sure if there's any others. Meaning the prosecutor could charge this as a felony domestic violence third offense, which is punishable by a maximum of 5 years imprisonment. Mr. Robert indicated if you plead to the misdemeanor first offense, they would not pursue charging it as a third offense felony case. Is that correct, Mr. Robert?
That's correct.
All right. And then there's also the issue of the bond violation. Ms. Ives, what's your client's position here?
I have discussed the offer with my client. My client at this time would like to plead as charged, considering the fact that the prosecutor could charge this and may charge this as a more serious offense. She's also willing to take responsibility for the bond violation as well.
Is that true, Ms. Haskins?
Yes.
All right. Let me ask you a couple things. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this other than that plea offer I stated on the record?
No, sir.
Or promise you anything other than that?
No, sir.
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Ives has been here pretty much since the early proceedings of this. would be here with you through the pretrial and through the sentence. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you, including Randy Tepper, subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify in your own behalf. But you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to December 28th. You and Randy at that time were married, is that correct?
Yes,
And you were living together in Sturgis
correct.
and on Vicky Drive. And on that day, did you and Randy get into an argument?
Yes, sir.
And he was videotaping this proceeding, which also just served to make you angrier than you already were.
Correct.
So did you strike him?
Didn't realize I struck him. I just tried to stick the phone on his hand.
All right.
He always does that when we get an argument. He'll try to record the end of it.
Well, he had some scratches on his head and under his eye.
I did not touch him. I did touch the phone. If I got anything, it must have been a hand, but I did not hit him in the face nor the eye or the head or eye, excuse me. Or the
Well,
phone.
On the video.
maybe we'll take a look at the video, but striking him in the hand is sufficient
Right.
for a domestic assault. Now, it was a condition of your bond that you were not to have any contact with him.
Correct.
On the 18th, did you go over to your house on Vicky Drive?
Yes, sir.
What was the reason for that?
To watch a movie and hang out because he missed me.
All right, this is one of those things that sometimes you need to get to the bottom of. There's a bond condition that you weren't supposed to have any contact, but did he allow you to come over there?
Yes, sir.
And then when things went haywire, then he
It wasn't even
called.
going haywire. It was crazy.
All right, tell
Nothing
me.
even happened, and he literally just, I heard over the Bluetooth speaker, because he had it hooked up to his phone. He went outside. I heard on the thing, 911 dispatch, and then I flipped because I was in my pajamas getting ready to watch a movie. And then I couldn't find my keys. Once again, here I am leaving with nothing because I don't even have my phone or anything anymore because he's taken everything. But yes, that was my fault. And he said he was calling, and I tried to get out of there, and
Well, it doesn't sound like much of an aggrieved victim. Now, it says in the report that they had received 5 calls. Tricia advised she is fully aware she's not to be in contact with Randy for any reason. I advise that this is the 5th call of service involving Randy this month.
he's calling, not even under any distress. That's what he's getting in trouble for right there. Because that's.
All right, well,
like, what
he's
is-
not the authority to lift the bond condition. We are.
Right.
But this is very common. Now, I'm looking at, you got a great big bruise on your right cheek. How did you get injured?
I got injured by trying to fix the curtain, and I went to go jump so I had to get on the couch to do it. And when I go to jump off the edge, I got too much bounce and then hit. I can't even explain it. It was so weird. I ended up hitting that wall just with that cheek. I had 2 scratches
And where did this take place?
at our residence.
At Vicky Drive?
Correct.
So how long had you been back there?
Off and on. I had stayed a couple nights. At first I was there until probably the last call. Or the first call, I don't even know.
I'm skeptical about your story about the bruise on your face, but
I would tell you, I've been mentally and physically abused. I promise if he did something, shove me or anything, he actually tried to say that the kid that was sitting on the couch did it, so you do have my word on that for sure that he has not did it. Cause I was in my past with my children's father, and I wouldn't hide it back, cause that's no joke. I'm gonna get a divorce now because it's starting to get screwy mentally, big time.
All right, Mr. Aubert, do you have that video?
Well, it says our file has digital evidence, so
Well, I've got to provide notice to him. What she admitted to and what's in the original complaint are different. She admits to slapping him in the hand. The police report indicated that he had injuries on his face and eye and wrist. And I'm not sure that the fact that he was videotaping it just exacerbated the problem. Then I tend to believe her version that she was there with permission until he didn't want permission anymore, and then he wants to enforce the bond conditions. Nonetheless, this is a very volatile situation. She has 2 previous convictions. And she clearly violated my bond condition for this very reason. The state police got better things to do than get called out there 5
Exactly.
times because you guys can't get along
Yeah.
and somebody could get hurt. And you've got an injury to your face, and I'm not sure what the reason is. Ms. Ives, do you have another trip planned or anything? Are you gonna be?
Well, I'm around. I've got a lot of trials scheduled. Right now, kind of February is I got mediations and trials scheduled galore. I think I've got one coming up either here with Judge Pattison, but, do you have a date in mind that you would like to come back and, cause I do have my calendar with me.
Yes, let's see what we've got.
If it helps, I am here on Thursday, January 30th at 11:30. I think I've got a PB.
Yeah,
going.
you're screwing me up. That's a terrible time and date for me.
Okay,
But the clerk put it in there. I called and said, who put this hearing in at 11:30?
sorry, sir.
I have a meeting at noon that I'm supposed to start the meeting, and I'm probably gonna have to cancel it or move it.
I will
So-
be here, knowing that, Your Honor, I'll be here and ready to go.
All
I'll
right.
make a note. Thank you. I'll be here
Anything
early.
earlier than 11:30 would be appreciated, but I asked them not to put anything at 11:30 on a Thursday. And you're scheduling difficulty because you're busy in multiple counties, so we often run into this. I'm looking at Wednesday, the 29th.
I'm supposed to be in Ann Arbor for, my follow-up appointment. If you
All
are
right,
on
well,
with
that's
my eye
important.
condition.
The reason is, my inclination is to leave her in jail. I don't want to take longer than I have to. I'm supposed to wait 10 days, but I think we can get Mr. Tepfer in here. When are you, other than next Thursday, the 30th, which is already causing me a problem, do you have any other day you're set to be here next week?
I don't, but I could, well, I'm here on the 30th, all afternoon. I'm here, I don't have anything scheduled on the 31st, but
All
my
right,
morning is
I think we
open.
can do it in the afternoon, which is where I would have wished they would have set the other case. Let's set this for 2:30 on Thursday, January 30th. This is a 3rd domestic violence offense, and there's a violation of the bond. I'm gonna cancel the bond. Also, she doesn't have anywhere to go. I wanna make some arrangements on what to do with you when you get out of custody. To contact the jail staff. Have you got someplace to go?
I can go to my father's, and I can stay there. I just knew that, yeah,
All right, I
I
need
can
input
go
from
there
the
and
victim
held accountable.
and the video if possible. All right, you're gonna be warm and safe for a couple days, but we're gonna address this next Thursday at 2:30. All right, you're good to go.